Studio Squad khopela la ba support ba re ira podcast ngwe bana ba bolela maga mo yona mara re dira le selo oh
Now you know what it is. It's your boy Focus King. I'm right here with my boys Tribulation. We're back like never gone. We're back, back. We're back like Mkoko. Eeskay, we are right here with Mr.
Eeskay Deep.
Eeskay Deep. Eeskay, this is the second Eeskay we have, but that one we hip hop and yeah, we are right here. You are a DJ,
Yes.
A performer.
Basically, so I just render music, so I think we call it performing.
Yeah.
For people.
Do you produce?
Produce has been a little slow, but I've once produced this other guy called Torivo. Shout out Torivo if you ever see this video.
Yeah, shout out.
So because of how things happen in life, we got separated. But he was my guy actually that got me into producing, and I kept on doing it. So I still have some files. I usually play it whenever I wanna produce an exclusive set. So it was an EP of 16 tracks. So I wasn't alone. Yeah, I was featuring 16 tracks, dope music.
Yeah.
So, but then as we go, obviously, I'm gonna be giving you guys links on how to find me. So on my mixtape, there's a section where I played 4 of those tracks.
Yeah.
So be ready.
Yeah, man. I love your energy, first of all, before we can go any far. So tell me, how did this thing of DJing, what kind of music do you play?
I play music as an all-rounder, but I usually say the crown. So my crown jewel is deep house, hence SKD. So it's in the name. I play good house music, deep exclusives here and there. But then I can play you some good private school piano, some piano. We all know we love piano.
Yeah, for sure.
We can't avoid it. But yeah, my crown jewel is deep house with the production as well, with the artist I was telling you guys about. It was strictly deep. So deep house music, good deep house music.
Lovely, man. Yeah, I'm a fan of hip hop.
Right.
My guy here is a fan of deep house and yo piano. So yeah, man. But
we all get along. Sorry to disturb. I'm a music all-rounder, like I said, and I love when it comes to your hip hop. I love the underground genre of hip hop.
Yeah, the punchlines.
Keep it up, guys.
The articulations. They're very smooth with it, though, because they're not chasing anything.
Yeah,
just do something that's conscious. Yeah. So I want to know, man, before we can start further, please tell me more about, your upcoming when you were still a youngin. Before you got introduced into music, what's that were you listening to, and what's that caught you into DJing before anything, your background?
That's a good question. If I recall precisely, it was the group of Soul Candy, but mostly it was what's those records? Now I'm telling you about legends still playing today. Pretty sure you guys are familiar with Vinny Vinci.
Yeah.
So, but then I can name another House Africa Records. So the guys back in the day when I was still, a young man, I was listening to Soul Candy and House Africa Records, and I fell in love. And then I remember I had myself a computer that I got from my uncle, and at the time we were rendering with Automix. The cats that have been in the industry, if you remember Automix, you know what I'm talking about. So before,
and if you don't know, go back and search.
Go back and search Automix. So I jumped on it with a couple of tracks from one of their EPs at that time, or albums. Now we call them EP. The old cats, strictly they called it albums. So I jumped on Automix. By the way, as I'll be telling you my story anyway, I'm self-taught. Something that I really carry very, very seriously on my shoulders, that I'm self-taught. So from Automix, a couple of pointers from just this one guy that I knew who came from Rustenburg, but it was just in passing. It wasn't like a sit down with me. So he just pointed out some few buttons there, but other than that, Eeskay Deep self-taught. So from Automix taught myself everything, and then that's where I began. That's what made me who I am today. That's the start of my journey.
The start of your journey. So you were at school, at some point, and you had your own dreams. You had your own aspirations. You had your own vision. Was that part of your vision or your dream to be a DJ, or you were just caught up because of the love of music, or because of you chose it along the way, or it was just
I see exactly what you're asking. Good question, by the way. It's a mixture of both. But to be very, very accurate with you, it's something that was in me and I discovered it. So hence I said it's a bit of both, So like I said when I was mentioning to the people, is that immediately when I started, how can I put this, displaying music through electronic equipment and applications programs, which was Automix, like I said, for me as a start. Immediately it was revealed to me, this is for me, this is me. And then I remember my boys from back in the day, shout out to you guys. You see how maybe as friends, this guy, soccer, we trust him. This guy, certain thing, we trust him. With me, it was that. When they say Eeskay, before I actually assumed the name Eeskay Deep, Eeskay is what my friends call me. They were like, nah man, you are about this. We love listening to you. And what was nice about it is that even through the learning, that's how good I was. Through the learning. Most DJs know. So this is when you couldn't actually find the matching of the two tracks. My pere was so understandable, and what I mean by that is that just that me.
People could read between the lines.
Yeah, they could be like, nah. Well, we understand that.
We see.
And I fix it up quite well in time. I'm not saying I'm a boss, right?
Yeah.
I do understand that I'm skilled in that, but I wanna be as much openly non-egocentric as much as I can. So it is.
But sometimes you gotta put it out there. Yeah. When you sell yourself, sometimes people gotta know what you're about.
Sure.
I understand. It's not about ego, man. If you're selling a product, you gotta be confident about it. But as people who are in a competition space with you, they'll just call it an ego.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like so. But for someone who's like, I wanna buy this thing, to them it's a product. You understand? If you sell yourself, someone now is jumping on the phone and searching. Eeskay Deep, bro. Hey, he said he's a master. Let me just see. Oh yeah, damn, it's good. It's that good. So now you've entered into that space. You understand? Now you're playing your music right there, and you're thinking, yo, bro, I can monetize with this thing.
Yeah, understand? That's actually.
So I wanna know how did it start? Now, how confident? Which time did you get confident to go out and play for people?
I love the questions that you're asking, man.
Yeah.
I wanna say to your listeners, you should really watch this guy's content, because all the questions so far, they're so, for me, they have substance.
Yeah.
So self-made. Remember I mentioned self-made. So Nagamfana Mafias, but I was born in Mamelodi. So there was a time, there's this spot back home called Blog. It's a restaurant, right? So I remember the cats were playing, and then I was like, I belong here, right? So much guys, because they don't wanna kind of like see a person getting out there. They were like, don't worry, don't worry. And a lot of times,
we got you.
Let me tell you, Eeskay Deep. You know what I'm talking about, right? Eeskay Deep. Us now, the other cats, I think you guys are familiar with Shuffle music. He used to work with MRD, right?
Yeah.
Or was the group MRD, but Shuffle music, really good artist. So he also had equipment, he had a place where people could go for music, for food, right? For the vibe. So I'm like, hey man, how's about, if you don't mind, teach me how to play now equipment. Remember what I said, I started with Automix, and then I transitioned into virtual DJ. The guys who are in music know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So the actual equipment, you know, the mixers, the CDJs, all of those equipment that actually produces the sound that we always hear out there. Pioneer is the most, I think, popular one internationally.
Oh yeah, I see that.
So I'm like, man, please, just, you know, teach me this. I want to now transition from the virtual aspect of music to now the physical, the analog.
Wanna give it to people now.
I wanna play, I wanna DJ. Same thing. These guys always do the same thing. Sorry, but that was my experience.
Yeah.
I still got much love for you guys out there who are looking out for upcoming artists, DJ, etc. Like Sawara, Sawara got you. Oh, this other time I met a cat. The cat has connections in town. If I should say connections. Very nice place, very unique. Amrock Cafe. I'm not sure. I haven't been to town for a while. Amrock Cafe. They had this uniqueness to them. So it's like a boutique, like selling. How can I put this? Like a very specific set of clothing. Like you would say, it's designer, right? So that's the one part of this building, and then there's the restaurant, and then outside. But it's still bordered with a fence. But then basically the outside of the actual building. Now this is where people get to chill. The DJ is there. I remember I tried calling the guy, like, because he was the sound organizer, DJs, everything. So busy guy. I was like, damn it, something says let's go. And that's what I did. Never played this before, never been
no experience,
nothing. I was like, I'm gonna take everything that I know virtually and go practicalize. Got in the taxi, man, town. When I got there, the cats
you were
playing.
invited.
No. And I tried calling this guy, so he's not answering. I'm like, I'm gonna pick myself up and go with him.
That's dope.
You won't believe, man, he actually found me well. Shout out to him. I'm gonna remember his name now, because now, you know, the blood is rushing on how I actually played it that day, you know. But I'm gonna remember his name. Hopefully I'll mention it while we're still in the shoot. So I got there, the cats are playing, and these guys are good. I'm starting to have goosebumps when my hair is raising. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? But something in me, that was now the other addition to say who I really am, why I am that person. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do this. And most of the music the guys were playing, I was like, I have better music. Out there, it's still the jungle, man. Shout out to everybody out there who's doing it. I'm not gonna put any shade on that. We are doing something incredible out there when it comes to music. So, but then I was like, I got better music. I'm gonna do this. And then what I did, I started focusing very, very much on how to envision it as if I'm still playing on my laptop.
Oh, you're comfortable space now.
Like when I get there, I should literally just see me with my laptop dropping hits on everybody's benches. And I was called out. So actually I talked with the guy, and then he was like, hey, yeah, I remember, we met. Thing is, I'm busy, as you can see. Sorry for not, finding time to answer you. But then I like what you did, man. Are you sure? You're good for this? Like, let's do it.
Let's get to it.
I remember when I was called up, man, blood started rushing. Like, dude, I'm really doing
It's
it.
the time now.
Had a little bit of shake as well, but I was like, let's do it. So the first order of business is to actually insert your USB, your music. Immediately when I could locate the slot without asking anybody, I was like, let's do everything else the same way. I could locate where the USB goes to, right? And then, man, come on, it's English. Eject is eject, pause is pause, play is play. Like I said, I was like, whatever that I know from the virtual programming of how you display music through the speakers, it's the same thing. And I did exactly that. I was given an hour and 30 minutes set, guys, whereby the general, yeah, that's what I mean.
First time.
For the first time.
Wasn't it long though?
It was long, but that actually made me. You know why they gave me an hour 30 minutes? They wanted to hear more.
Oh, damn. Good.
Because you know, if you know slots generally, I know for hip hop it's a little bit different. Sometimes it is your 30-45 minutes, depending on how huge the event is anyway. But us cats here with the deep house, with the piano, with the what do you call this, private school, you get an hour.
Yeah, an hour
It's the
straight.
general
So
slotting
they
of
did at the
DJs.
time because they want more.
Guy came to me, I remember, was like, yo, I hate
Sound.
Cheetah.
Hey.
And I had, like I said, guys, my times where I didn't align the music correct. So, but what that cat saw in me is that, and he didn't even know, I don't know. I went there with this confidence that, hey, you wouldn't even think that I'm playing this for
You'll
the
move
first
me
time.
through my ways.
So you came to me, yo, hit it. And that's when I started to develop my, how can I, structure of
That's where
actually,
you found yourself.
of play.
The other is Eeskay now. The
Yeah,
outsider.
yeah. So when he said to me, go on, I was like, I went to my folder of hit killer tracks. And I would say for the 30 minutes, usually with the BPM that I play with, the DJs know what I'm talking about, it would accommodate like 3 to 4 tracks, 30 minutes. I went there and I murdered 30 minutes.
Your first gig
To
outside
first stop.
without
Two of
being
those tracks were
invited.
without being invited. But I knew the cat. I met him. I was like, hey, I'd like to, come around someday. Hear the other guys, hear you, But then I didn't know. Eventually, I would say, nah, not listen. Let's listen and play. And that's what I did.
Man, I love your confidence, man. As someone, when you're studying something, when you mentioned that a lot of people gave you, gave you a shoulder, it happens this way. If someone don't see or they see, it's either it's a threat or they don't see potential at all. It's not wrong. You understand? But it's up to you how you take it. And if you want to move, you would move, most definitely. Because remember, outside it's cold, bro. It's not like inside or on your comfortable space. You understand? The critics. So if someone saw you and belittled you that time, and you have in yourself that big picture of you, that elephant in you, you know what's that you wanted to conceive at that time. That thing gave you that confidence to say, these people, they don't know me. Let me actually try and reintroduce myself. Understand? And of which that's what must happen. Nobody gotta empathize with you. You gotta know yourself, and because if you did it that day, you knew after then that I'm a killer from this day. So that time made you, or it had to destroy you. You understand? But fortunately enough, it made you.
That type of platform.
You understand?
Maybe.
So that day they did pay you, or it was because of.
Great question again. And so and I would say I played in total now 150 sets. You won't believe I was paid for 50 of those 150 sets. I was paid for 50 officially. So, but it is something. No. That day I didn't get paid, and other times I played there, I think 5 times, if not a little bit more. But it's usually something that happens everywhere, man. You just get sponsored with beverage of your choice and a smoke.
What do they call it?
A rider.
A rider, yeah.
But that's the professional
way
of
to thank you.
So
and to
the
keep
other
you,
cats, I wouldn't think they deserve to call it a rider, because of it's just that thing of minimizing their cost as much as possible for your work. So they know a lot of us obviously indulge in alcohol, but they still have a way to win, even though you're not an alcohol drinker, because there's juice, there's cold. That's what they do. So I didn't get paid for that first one, and I kind of kept at that for like 2 years. I started getting paid this incredible place in Mainland called Enko. It was the first time I got the taste of a blur. for my work. So I remember when that notification came in, man, I was like,
this is the one.
This was me. This must be, bro.
You know, yeah. So
that's when you got your first pay.
First pay.
Yeah, man. I wanted because because this question I wanted us to get there. That which platform did you get paid? You understand? So now that you have answered that one, I want you to tell us now. You know, when you're studying and you're doing your own thing and now you're getting paid, now you're already getting paid, right? You already have your rates, you understand? So you know what you're doing and what you're doing for.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell us which platform or stage ever get onto, like it was your first time having like this big audience, you understand, in front of you, and you were like, damn, is it like really me? Or is it just a dream? You understand?
It's not a familiar event. I was introduced to it myself. I had a somewhat agent. Another thing about being self-made, self-taught, is that I also move alone. Something that I should work on anyway. Come on, like teamwork usually has better results, man. So I would be managing myself from the booking to preparing. You know, getting my own ways of getting to and back from these places. And there was a guy who actually loves my craft. He loves how, dude, I've played times self-taught without this as well. Nobody taught me that how can you actually produce a perfect set without actually having these, my man. Hence I'm wearing them around because it's also another thing that I really, you know, appreciate about myself. So he would be that guy, all of those things that you know, are kind of like the gap of everything that should be as a working mechanism to get me, you know, greater and greater, and always, you know, punctual. Always delivering who I say I am. So, and he's a guy from home, so it was easy to work with him. But the biggest thing that made me, allowed me in my space in what I do, is that he loved my craft.
And that was easy because he wanted to see it grow. You know, if you love something,
till today,
it was easy for him to nurture.
You know what I mean. So introduce me to this place. I know it's going into the west of our region here, so we went to the east, somewhere in Pretoria East, huge crowd. Yeah, that type of places where your big dogs come, you know, the guys who driving the Benz, Porsche, you name it, type of place where they have their own designated parking spots. Everybody was there, man. The lady, the gent, the young, you know, my age, the kids. So I don't know this event, the legends. I didn't know this event because I was kind of busy that day, and it's like, I got you something, boy. Like, are you serious? I got you something, please don't disappoint. I'm like, that's not who I am, man. Let's do this.
Let's get it.
The boy got me there, and I played. Huge crowd. I'm talking 100, 200 plus people, man. Maybe even close to 500.
And how were you feeling when you got to that place and you saw people up and down?
Same thing that I've always been feeling. I belong here. I killed it. And like I said, remember how I developed my structure of play? So there's a way that I categorize in groups my set of 1 hour. There's a certain 20 minutes that I play a certain lineage of songs that gel together. The other 20 minutes, all the way where I'm gonna twist your neck, you won't even believe, with some killer house tracks. Because people kind of like believe killer songs are like you piano and hip hop, and it's not. I have a lot of good killer house music songs, bangers is what I call
that will make you know.
Yeah, for sure. So
focus on the DJ.
You know what I mean? So getting into that part, Thought Money was the guy. Thought Man came to me like, boy, you, this is you. and I haven't heard a set like this in a while, maybe even probably never. I never felt so heartwarmed, man, because my work was appreciated. You know, he actually even gave me a good $100 bucks.
Yeah.
Like this for me was beautiful. It was perfect.
It was more than what you got there, because you know it came with wise words, man.
Yeah.
And it's not bad.
Yeah, it's my only big one. It's my only big one. But another thing about Eeskay Deep, I'm humble, guys. I'm humble. I don't mind a small crowd. I don't mind the opening set. Opening set is the first DJ. You find that only 2 of you guys are. You know, obviously the waiters and the other general workers, but basically I'd be playing for, if it's not including the guys who are working at the area, I'm playing for 2 of you guys, and I still am the same guy with 200 of those guys. I get there, I do what Eeskay does.
So let's divert just a little bit.
I want to know.
So you know, when you get onto that, you know, when you get yourself, man, when you are out there now people, they know you. Probably now they start following you. You understand? They start. So now there is this little thing that you call temptation. Girls wanna know. You understand?
Yellow bone.
Exactly.
Cheese.
It's very dope and tasty. But can we just spice it up? How do you deal with those kind of, you understand, temptations? Because it's you know, when you're out there, you wanna be in there. Yeah. So how do you discipline yourself when it comes to work? Because I think for the upcoming ones, they just have to get something. You understand? Because if we are in the industry, most things that you see on the media, it's not what people are. You can be so in a crowd having like 10 chicks, but only to find out that you don't fuck with them. You understand? So sometimes we think like, hey, Eeskay Deep run out got hoes, so I wanna do this, so their purpose, it changes now. It's no longer to eat and stuff. So I just wanna know, how do you really deal with the temptations?
Alright, man. You know, to be fair, I'm a guy. I do have that eye for the chicks, right? So I've never anyway let it interfere critically with my work. There's a DJ by the name of Melo. Oh, girl is fire, man. Working with her, honestly, it was more about the affection that I had, not about the work.
Yeah, it happened.
But what I love and what I can tell upcoming artists, or even artists who've been in the game already, is that if you really do this, you know, for a purpose, and you know why you're doing it, it speaks for itself. So the distraction still didn't kill the music. I was there trying to, you know, get my spot with her, but then anyway, it was work. It was, she wants me to be her DJ for the deep house genre of thing, because she went into the space with this piano, and you know, the industry actually has it a little bit easier for ladies. I'm sorry, like for ladies to get in the space,
that's true.
It's much more easier than us, the gent, you know. So, but then she wanted me to rent a house for her events, but my motive was something else. But the music still spoke for itself, and though I wasn't present in it when it comes to being professional about we are working. I was trying to generate points in getting her. Yeah, so how I deal with it, other than that situation, is literally something that has never been an issue to me. And it's the focusing on the networking that makes it doable. So when ladies trying to cop my details, I'm looking at, this is a person that I can, you know,
use.
Then
or work with.
Like she will be able to tell other people. I will be able to say,
they follow us even though they're not artists. They're very good fan base. Everyone is following them.
You know what I mean? So that's how I've been doing it. And like I said, guys, I'm a guy. I have an eye for them. So being in this space, you meet a lot of these girls. You meet a lot. So, but then never actually found it hard
so adding on
to focus
on the question Kasbuda, So we kind of find out something that you had to set back from being a full-time DJ.
Oh yes, it's true.
Yeah. So what caused that? What actually happened?
Okay. No, I like it. And it was actually something that I wanted to mention, and it's in conjunction with how I wanna get the message across to people who went through the same thing and who wanna be prepared for the potential situation where they might be prepared if maybe they start seeing the symptoms that, hey, I remember a guy told his story. So the major thing was how I once lost my device, my laptop. So I was playing for a friend in school, his 21st, or was it 18th birthday? No, 18, sweet 16, sorry, sweet 16. Big place down here in Silverton called, oh, I forgot the name. So, but then it's just before the ShopRite complex as you go ahead, Church Road.
Yeah.
Big place, there's ducks there. So he was a boy where at home, you know, they had it all good. They didn't mind securing the area for him money-wise. So yeah, and it wasn't only us who came there. So it was his people and then other people who also booked around the area. But the guy was the only one who had a sound connected. So the other guys actually came join. So I remember I was hustling, selling cigarettes at that time, you know, and then I actually found that it was good business. I think they finished my two boxes of cigarettes in like 20, 30 minutes. So I was like, I'm with a friend. I was like, hey man, my sale is about to come up, but I think I can manage to run and get supplies of this cigarettes. It's actually going well. I didn't think it would be so good. I'm laptop with
Yes, sir.
Guys, I remember when I came back rushing to be on time as soon as the guy tells me, hey, you up next. And then I actually got into the place still selling before actually reaching my friend. So when I came back, they're like, hey, did you get the cigarettes? I'm like, I'm good. Selling, making my way towards the guy. I remember I didn't see the bag straps here. I was like, but there's no way. There's no way. My guy, there's no way. I carried on selling. Time came when now the music actually started playing of my situation that I actually was in, but I didn't attend to it. So the guy's like, yo, you up? I'm going. I went to my guy. I was like, yo, I need that. He's like, ish. I remember my heart exploded. I can't even.
Just with that reaction,
Can't even relive that emotion that I felt. Because Anna is my friend. There's no way I could have became physical. All I could do was just show him how disappointed and how hurt I am. So couldn't play. Obviously, the guys who stole it were giving me that out. And it could have been anybody. They're like, nah, man. I think we're gonna find it. I think I saw somebody carrying it back. That happened for hours, all the way into the midnight. I actually even had a fight with the guy, the sweet 16 guy, where he didn't take my situation well. Like he literally just saw it as just another thing. And I had a push around with him. Didn't sleep that day. I wasn't okay. So what happened is that I lost everything. Didn't have backup. I started producing actually at that time. So everything that I've worked on, gone. Everything that I've been collecting, gone. There's music in there that I still can't find today on any internet platform. They went with that laptop. So what happened after that? That was my first time seeing that. Hey, this thing actually it hit me hard. Then getting my second laptop now, what I did is I went 2-3 times harder. And I made sure now that I back up most of my stuff. So I had an external HDD hard drive that I put my stuff in. And then this is the second hit, I lost that one. So unfortunately with it, I took obviously things from the laptop to it. But while I was collecting music, I put in new music in there and not on the laptop itself. So when I lost it with things that I actually still can have in this laptop, but new things in the exclusives that I can't get again. This is when it hit me. And that coupled with how now the cats, I played a lot of places. For me, it's something that I take seriously. I know there are people out there getting booked from Wednesday on the way to Sunday. I appreciate what I have. I've played hard rock, I've played the ham rock place, like I said. I've played a place here in Mamelodi called Monaco. I've played Trio. I've been around, but the biggest one for me, and I held with both hands up, was the one in Manly. Yeah, the place, the Eeskay that I mentioned. So these guys aren't calling me, and Blom is from my hometown. These guys aren't calling me. I'm like, what is it? I don't even put pressure on you to say, hey man, I'm even paying for the beverage and the smoke. I'm humble, not in your ear buzzing about this payment thing. You give me 60 and happily, and I never complain, and I play a set that is worthy of being paid, man. And I'm there, I'm consistent. I could be called last minute, I'm gonna show up. With cats out there, don't take that type of BS. You have to be upfront, you have to be within notice before the actual presentation of that set. I could be called, say like right now, maybe a call comes in, hey Joe, we need you for a 9 o'clock set. I hurry my eyes out there. So these cats aren't calling me anymore. And the other one had to do with a lady, other lady that was my partner. Yeah, so the guys from my local were gunning for her. And one of the guys is a owner basically of this place called Blom. So immediately after we had this one huge fight, that's when they started not calling me. Only to find out that it had elements of how they wanna separate me from her as much as possible, because she would still be continuing to come there because it was our thing. She goes with me when I DJ each and every weekend. So they don't call me anymore. And then the other place. So what happened there? That's when I lost the passion. So when I lost the passion, I saw stopping making mixtapes as the biggest fact of how I'm losing my light. You know, the fire is dying down, because that was the thing that I was supposed to do. I was now supposed to focus on actually making mixtapes for people who love what I do, to keep on, having,
other than focusing on the event.
Having my product. Dude, I have a 4-hour mixtape, guys. That's how I say this is my thing. A lot of DJs don't get to that point. I have 2 4-hour mixtapes, but like I said, the end I'm gonna talk about where you can access my music, the ones that I still do have. But yeah, that's how it happened, guys. The passion died down from losing music that I can't recover, and not being called up to those stages that I was gaining so much momentum with, man. Eeskay could play Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. That was a huge deal for me. I remember Eeskay is the one that paid. That's the one that I actually got paid for. While they're still giving me my rider, but I also got actual money for what I do. So yeah, the guy just dropped the ball. But I remember, I tell my friend always that it's just the light has dimmed, it's not off. So yeah, and what I'm gonna do now,
the orange side.
Yeah,
the moon is orange.
It's just orange, but it's not off. It's not off. It's still there. So what I'm gonna do anyway, for guys who are gonna start following me, to hear what Eeskay Deep really is about, I'm gonna release now a birthday mix, because I remember that's when I had a lot of passion, when I released my birthday mix. So why not use that as the fire to actually get me back to who I am? So I want to make it 10 times better than the one that I released at that time. And then I'm gonna I'm gonna actually want to release at least 2 mixes per month. But then I'm also gonna go back to see if I can make new connections. There's a lot of places out here, guys. So true. No shade on the guys that stopped working with me. I'd still love to do that without fear. But you know how getting into a new space, there's much more greater potential to grow. So, and I've played Sasolburg, guys. This is in Free State. Played a 2-hour set, in and out.
Same manager.
No, this was another guy. So there's a guy who knows me from the locals, like, yo, the way you play, man, you would be appreciated by the guy who runs Kwandona in Sasolburg. Like, you serious? Like, just find means of us getting there. And I did. I found a guy. We agreed on how we're gonna pay each other, and then there we were. Left here like 11 o'clock. My set was 8. Then we drove back from the midnights coming back. So going that far, guys, this is what I mean, that I do this as a thing that is so me that I don't even mind going through or to those lengths to actually just bless people for an hour. Sasolburg in Free State.
But this is kind of heartbreaking story, bruh. Because
it's really close to heart.
Yeah, man. Just imagine now, you see your light and suddenly just dims up. You understand? And you would think it's because of one guy. You would think of that and that and that. But you know how you've played around with it to think that it was that time that your light's getting. It's not night already. It's just that the moon is orange. You understand? Yeah, it's just a change of season. And how you see things, you know. Yeah, man. How you say a lot of people would talk this as a past. I used to, because I used to this thing. I had this thing in me, but you still see it. You understand? Because it's in, and that's what attracts people, and that's why they keep on calling you, man. So on that in that tone, I wish you luck into getting. You understand, anything that you benefit. You understand. And thanks for not giving up on you, man. You understand? Thanks like to you for seeing you as you. You understand?
And it's not only about me. Remember when I started actually telling my stories, that I'm doing it also for the other young man or the other guy. Doesn't matter whether you've been around or not, only getting into it now. The same message applies. Understanding. I always like to say, understanding a problem is 50% the solution. You have to work on the other 50%. So being in understanding of my problem, for me is something that has substance, right? So when I understood that, hey, my light is dimmed and this is the reasons behind it, then I was able to pick myself up from it. Just understanding. So the upcoming DJ artist, the guys already in the industry, from me to you, Eeskay Deep, is that these tough times, I did say off. You don't take off. You might have your own experience, but then here I am, and I'm still gonna be doing what I do best, and I'm still gonna work on my craft. The glass is half full, guys. So even though I know with passion and pride that I do this very well, there's still much more to learn and increase on, right? The craft itself, how to display the music, and the actual being of how I say deep house is my crown jewel. So I'm always gonna be out there, that type of DJ that can actually play you something that has never been heard out there, even on radio, and then how I incorporate it with all the other sounds that are familiar, that are out there, that everybody knows about, or it's easy to actually hear that song, whether on the TV, on the radio in the car, or another guy just playing. So it's not to say only me playing those tracks that you would have a heartache when you go on your Shazam and find no results. No. There are some of those, that's what makes me unique. There are some of those, but I pair it with the other tracks that you'd be like, you didn't know this is there, but you can actually get it. Right? And I'm looking forward to work with other producers in getting out their music. So after having my followings where I am, if you're out there a producer and you have the taste of good house music and you're producing it, I am more than willing to work with you and you know, kind of like present your music through mixing, you know, your tracks to make one final product of a mixtape. Or even if you don't mind, physically where I'm booked, I can play that music for you, whichever other person likes it and asks me about it, I get them in contact with you.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to work with them or whatever the case may be. So what I can promise you that you have 6 tracks, I can make a nice solid pairing of them to give them to the people.
Nice.
So that's where I'm going back in.
So after you realized the thing with like you lost your music, you're no longer getting the bookings. So don't you think now, okay, sharp, I've lost the passion. Probably you start looking for a job just to make sure that you get the cash flow. And of course, because of it's not what you actually want to do on a daily basis or something that you passionate about, you always stressed out, you always probably tired because it also gets to your mind.
It takes away your time.
Yeah, it takes away your time, your focus.
Yeah.
Who reminds you all the time, Gotijo? You're not just anybody, you are Eeskay Deep.
My guy, my friend. My friend is always he's there, man. He's in front of me to say, hey, yo, come on, man. And you know what happens? Music is timeless, guys.
Yeah.
I would get a message out of nowhere that, yo, I remember I had your mixtape, I played it the other day. Dude, where are you? There's those people as well on my social. They would even take me a picture or a screen recording of where they are on that mixtape at that time, telling me, I remember how you actually put this song in from the previous one. I don't want to stop, I'm going to go full in until the last track. And it would hit me to say, dude, go back and pick up that ball and give these people this thing that you're about. Like they just remind me, but they are physically so in my space always is my guy, my friend, tells me, yo, dude, get back there. You know what you are, you know what you do. So I get it. He would actually tell me, I get it how, you know, your story is, how these guys aren't calling you anymore. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Go out there, make new connections. He actually said something that I thought about when it comes to how I can turn this thing around. Start working with other new people to gain just that platform of how this person doesn't have, you know, is cool be started last time, or they don't like seeing me, you know, persist and grow and have a name out there because they want all the stage, they want all the light. And you know how, guys, you know how this thing with people is, like people don't wanna share the light. So with me, another thing that keeps me pushing is being a deep house DJ is more harder because everything is about piano, mostly. Piano sells, and I get it. These people, they're making waves, they're making something
and
changing.
Shout out to DJ Shimza. Shimza is making a huge move. Electro Avatar. He's making connections with the guys within there. And hey, shout out to him. Shout out to him. The Kunya event,
I believe what you're saying. Man.
Yeah, Kunya is, and you can see how he is actually booming because he's taking everyone. Guys, I have this platform, and it gives him and it gives him a booming.
Yeah, so
even I think even the DJs, the major league DJs with I think people don't understand that if you work with people, if you believe Uti Eeskay Deep can actually give. Even if Bazawona Uti, he plays better than you, but they will shout out to you because you gave him the spot.
Sure.
And you'll always remember that.
Dude, I so wish your word could go around, man, the world, because what you just said is beautiful. If we work together, it's not about if I'm better than you, then now we should, start.
In a creative space, there is nothing like that.
There's nothing like
collaboration.
Different. Always different.
So I want you to tell me this, because this is what I always ask, and maybe is there something that I promote. Understand? You have people that look up to you, as Eeskay Dib, as an artist, as a brother, as a. Do you have like one person that you plant whatever that you have in them?
I should actually think about this. I have a mental memory of this. There was one boy who looked up to me so much. I remember that feeling. Who's this boy? Oh, Scoops. He goes by Uncle Scoops. So I met Scoops through the working thing, right? And then he would always see me with these on. So I usually get on my gents we smoke. So the other time he finds me, I had just lit 9 up, he wants a light. Like, then obviously because we work in that, say, complex, we do see each other as, we're here, but he's working there, I'm working there. So it was easy for him to just kind of like, make small talk. And then he's like, yo, what you banging in there? I always see you with this headsets on your head each and every time. Like, I actually listened to a mixtape that I just finished yesterday. I want to know if I'm satisfied with it. Guy said, I'll give you the headsets back when we no go. Because wow. Like, you know what? Cool, man. Cool. No problem. So I gave him the headsets and the phone. And then he banged it, and he was like, dude, do you mind actually teaching me how to do this? And then I wanna pursue it with the piano jamming. I'm like, for sure. And I actually taught him. I lost contact with him, but if he didn't lose it along the way, he's a DJ today.
That's
through my help. And I was giving back to the young Eeskay Deep, who was given the cold shoulder to say, hey, I once been in this situation. Let me be the gift to this guy. So I started off with how Anyway began for me. Sharp up virtual DJ. Get the feeling of what it is to have 2 tracks and offer a product, which is music. So start there. What is it about these 2 tracks? Okay, you have to find a similarity between your songs. You don't just, that's the first thing that I told him, you don't just mix. So if you're playing a certain song, and you gotta know your music, if you're playing this song, find a more similar one to it. That's how it makes, changing between the songs a little bit more easier, and that's what works for me. That's why I am who I am. I'm not tracking They are a family of tracks. I really jumped into it, and I liked how he asked questions, meaning he's getting what's happening there. And then all of these places I was called at. Another place that I remember now, I've played Coffee. I don't know if you guys know Coffee. I've played Coffee down there in Brooklyn. They once called me the one in Santon as well. So I've been there. So I took the guy out of risk and said, play alongside. And then the guy who actually manages bookings, they didn't mind much about it. He actually managed his business. He was worried about just getting my rider out and continue with the other things he has to do. So put the guy on. I was like, yo, remember now it is my name on the poster on the event. So I'm kind of sticking my ass out for you here, but show me everything that you learned there now to the equipment. Then he went in, guy, you know. First track didn't align, and that's when I was showing him. So the track was off. Then I showed him how you actually work the equipment to match these songs. And one it is that's different from the program, computer program, and the actual thing. What you saw there is this button is this thing.
Yeah.
And then he went to me, say maybe a dozen other places. And then there was one where I said, you take the whole set.
Dozen places.
Yeah, so more than 12 places I've played with this guy.
Nice.
Alongside me. And then there was the times where I said, Itate. To a point whereby when they booked, he would be now
on the poster.
There in his own name, in his own set, and I'm the other. Like we were talking about now, collaboration. So he had his guys that he knew. So these guys, whenever anything popped up to say we need DJs, he would let me know. That's how he started getting his name on his own on these events.
I love
So it's scoops, guys. It's scoops. So he looked up to me greatly. So, and yeah, I could give him, you know, the stick to say run with it.
So listening to his first set, how did it make you feel? And
from where it began.
yeah, from where it began to seeing him proceed.
Yeah, he showed me that there's more that adds to the passion when somebody is really there for you. How can I put this? Like honestly, like willingly. He could see that I can foresee I'm actually doing this. So he went into it really learning, not just doing. So first said how he could even pass me the headset and say, I don't really think this is a match. I'm like, there we go. So where do you think you should go now with this track to get it aligned? Are you going back or are you going forward? Or do you rather think these songs are not made to be paired with each other? Then there he was. Like I said, guys, he now could play his own entire set. I remember he relocated, hence I said I lost contact with him. At the time, we were still in contact. He relocated to Johannesburg. He was booked. Two common places, but then he could be booked on other ones. So basically, these two were the ones that were consistent. Alone, took the stick and he did his thing without my mentorship anymore. And he would each and every now and then remind me how grateful it is for what I did.
Man, that's what I always, recommend people to do. Understand? Because if you have something to mentor, to me, and basically in real life thing, if maybe you've mentored me as Uncle Scoop, and I no longer see you in the game, I'll be very much concerned. Understand? To say, Eeskay, my king, why are you? Because my motive, understand, is to impress you and is to see me greater than my master. You understand? And to see my master enhancing so that I can grab one or two. If you have a teacher there teaching and you understand things, you want to reason with them on your private space to say, this thing I understand. They learn from you, learn from them. Because if you no longer see that person, that thing will hit you to ask, where is he? You understand? So it's one of the things to say, these people are the ones that gonna wake us up whenever we starting to see shame on us. You understand? Whenever we start to feel belittled. You understand? That's what I always say to people. I have one boy of mine. You understand? So I treat him as an adult because of the way he likes to learn. The way you learn is the way people see you as. It's not the way they envision you. You might envision yourself as someone by trying to learn, you understand, some type of a lifestyle. Some people, they see you as that. Now you want to be like 50 Cent. To us, we whatever that you do, we relate it to 50 cents. Like, hey, you might be 50 Cent because of the lifestyle already. So, So he would just call me, Eeskay King, are you still doing this? So he gets me back on track.
Yeah.
Understand? So yeah, basically it's all about that. Understand? And the power of collaboration and everything, man. So yeah, do you have something else?
Yeah. So in adding on the question, Jim, but this one is no longer a question. It's more, okay. It's a question of who actually mentors you, or if you don't have a mentor, which DJs did you
Look up to.
follow? Yeah, look up to.
I will still say to date, and this hurts because it's another element on my, the dimming of my light and fire. I even stopped looking up on this guy. That's how literally I was, going rock bottom. So it's Oscar Bo. Today he's Oscar MBO.
Yeah, today's it's gonna be you.
Guys.
That he's a legend. If you're into deep house, there's no way you don't love him.
Oscar.
And the way he moves.
The way he moves.
Yeah, everything about him.
So, with me, it's the detail. Like, I'm a detail-orientated guy. So, guy plays exactly what I believe I play. His style.
Yeah,
Number
I can tell. Yeah.
Number one. And then number two, I would just look at his now other things in his life. Shy Audi, favorite car.
Yeah.
Smoking.
This guy. And then his love for travel and fashion. Well, he has his uniqueness to it. Like he wears,
He's a
designer,
killer.
other.
He's a killer.
Yeah, it's
He's a
specific to
killer.
him. But yeah, now I'm more of your subtle type of outfit guy, So, but then even through how he wears things, usually it's black. Our favorite color, black.
Color
So the other things outside of the music, I still see a resemblance into who I am. That's this downfall of mine. I would go months without seeing what he's up to. The other time I was shocked to find out about a new, was it an EP or album that's out. I'm like, what's going on?
The latest album. Okay.
I'm like, what's going on? Like, literally, at least, keep up with your guy. So, hence, you're asking who's my mentor. So, your mentor, keep up with him, but understanding what your situation is. But don't drop the ball completely when it comes to the passion, to say you don't even know where your mentor is, what he's doing. Because the reason why he becomes now mentor is one specific thing. He works. He's consistent guy.
Too consistent. And he
works. So I would see how this week it's a radio feature, another week it's an international collab. I'm like, you don't just have those things without earning them, without working.
Getting your stripes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, guys, Oscar Bo, definitely. But then, look, as long as you're a house DJ out there, you're my mentor. So Oscar was the one who actually fitted most of my puzzle pieces to make him my mentor. Yeah, his sound. I remember I once went into Diesel Denim Friday, guys. I don't know if you guys know about it.
Yeah.
The only issue for me not to be called up, I didn't do my research. Okay. Even radio, didn't do my research. Okay. So whenever you go out there trying to get recognition and even play whatever the set may be, whatever competition, just to be called up, you shouldn't give your representation of what you do with a long mixtape. So I sent these cats my 4-hour mixtapes, radio and Diesel Denim. So I didn't know about this. Actually, you should even make it close to 20 minutes as possible, just to give them the idea of, okay, Summer Tom is this genre, and his style, how he plays. That's all they need. That's 4 hours. I remember 4 hours is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's not a substance. It's megabytes. It's serious. So even uploading it took me daytime and time, and I was so serious to say this will work. Can't did it. And then unfortunately, when I started sloping down, that's when I knew about the
Criteria.
the fact of giving a short sample
yes.
of your work. So I didn't eventually get to do that because that's when my life was dimming down. And it happened so fast, guys. I'm still gonna say, just understand the problem. You solved it halfway. It happened so fast. Like I was booming and then just like that. Because coming from now almost getting into the diesel then and Friday competition stage and potentially playing radio and then so my situation is really close to heart, guys. So yeah, to answer that question, that's it. So diesel denim showed me how I remember seeing Eeskay. So remember we're still talking about Eeskay. So the other time, that's when I found that inspiration to say, you can do it because she was in Winley the time he was playing. He was still young. He was another thing, self-made. Same thing about that guy. If you hear his story, he once said to his parents,
I don't want to go to school.
And then they financed this beginning of who he is. And then, so long story short, he went out there and then here he is. From that first order of business to say, now let me get equipment. And then play.
Moving from Mpumalanga to PTA where there's big cats. By that time, Deep House no dlala kuvini. Parkemang for Christopher.
And he went in there. I remember the other time listening to a radio interview that he had. He said he was playing after Christos. And I was shaking as nobody's business. But I went in there and got a hand from the legend.
Christos is so passionate about
his music is unique. So imagine playing after Christos. So definitely. But any other house
change of taste.
It is. Christos is on another level when it comes to selection and music. So any other DJ I was saying, house music, they all people who I look up to and always want to learn and who and what makes who they are. So Eeskay, shout out Mbio.
So now that you're here, now that you look at your life, seems like it needs more. It needs to be changed. It needs to be.
Attend to it.
What? If you were to go back to the first gig where you didn't know anything, you that person, what's one thing you would take from that and put it to your life today?
It is actually the light. So that's my fire. That's what I'm gonna take to say. I've never played. I wasn't called. I tried communicating with the guy, but I wasn't called, and I went there and I actually did something so great that they gave me an extra 30 minutes. So it's actually, the answer to your question is actually the fire. If I bring that back, remember I mentioned playing without these. I remember my first time, I had actually forgotten them, and I'm already on my way there. I can't turn around. My gig, the time that I was playing couldn't allow me to turn around and go get those. Self-taught that picture as if you're listening to that track even though you're not. And I actually completed the set without mistakes.
Sharpen your ears.
So my confidence for it, but I'd like to call it the fire. Like confident.
The
fire
zeal.
that burns you. The zeal, that's a nice word. So I bring that back. And I go push without attending to the fears of
obstacles.
That's what I bring back. That's the first source of actually, rebuilding SKD. Go back. Like when I was even mentioning these places now, I could actually sit back and say, for where we've played, dude, you've really done something for yourself, especially because of your self-talk. You actually
You were alone.
got yourself to know how to do this, and then look at the places you played. Played Hard Rock Guys Cafe in Menlyn. Once got an opportunity for Moloko, but then it was said that the guy who called it out, who called me out, made a mistake, because Moloko is not about deep house. Actually, I couldn't believe it when I heard it. So they all hip hop piano, and you know Moloko is a serious club.
Yes.
So the guy apologized nicely, said, "Hey, Joe, the bosses are saying nah, not for us, but now I thought we do jam house, because I've heard guys play house, I've called guys play house. So something is just off a little bit, but look, man, I still know a lot of other cats, other places that would appreciate your craft. But look at my name coming up as a suggestion for my logo. It's like I thought it happens. It happens though. The surface was wet, you slipped, you broke an ankle. Let's move. Put on a cast, shy. What's these things? The walking sticks when you inject.
Crashes.
Eventually, physically recover. I made that example to myself that if I fell over wet surface and broke a bone, I will heal.
Damn, Brian, you know, you take me back to when I was, that Focus King, though. Actually, I'm a rapper, so I had my time also.
Right, shout out.
You understand? I had my time also where I was booming. I was attending gigs, and yeah, man, it all started when I wanted to build up a studio, because everyone wanted me to be their part, record labels, So I'm not a groupie too when it comes to work, because I work on my own way.
So right?
Yeah. So
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I had to start up from scratch, man. So you know what? Last year I did, man. I told my friend, I was like, bro, there are a lot of things that I've done alone. You understand? There are a lot of things that I did. So there is one thing that I didn't do to prove to Focus King that you can come back.
Sure.
You understand?
Sure.
Yes, I proved to you and I can tell you my story, but you can't believe me now.
No.
You understand? And this thing is still in me. It's still present in me. Let's say present in the atmosphere.
Sure.
But not in reality because of my ignorance and my doubt. You understand? So how about my New Year resolution for me to prove myself to Focus King, to say, hey, bro, let us fulfill the purpose.
Yeah.
We're not done yet. You understand?
Game.
Yeah. So it's just all about that. Even when you talking, you just get me into that space to say you're getting yourself together. You understand? It's like, it's not a rebuild, I can say. It's a continuation of the chapter. You're just closing this one, and now you're entering into a good space where it's not a start afresh, man, nigga. Let me tell you something, because you still do what you did. You understand? You still have the zeal, you still have the same power. It's not like you've changed to hip hop or something. So it's a continuation of that brand. So you're using the same brand to, bruh.
I know.
Man, I can relate to the story.
You said it right.
Yeah.
So I believe you can relate from everything you just said.
Okay, so as I've mentioned the brand, what's your, just in a nutshell, what's your brand? What's Eeskay?
Okay. Anyway, through the following, when they get to the platform where they can actually download or stream my music, which is Hard This. In a nutshell, I can't think of it word for word, but what I'm saying there is that I'm an ever-learning DJ, deep house DJ, but other genres, and then how I incorporate different genres with exclusives to create a beautiful, beautiful mix. And I'm one, like I said, if you remember correctly, during our talk here, that music is timeless. So I have a belief that I can play you a track from 2005. You wouldn't have a feeling to say, why would he take me back there? You actually get the feeling of it's not about the latest track. So I do have mixtapes by that description. It's not about the latest track, it's about the music. So remember, like I said, the skill that I have skilled is how I can pair the different groups of music correctly, so with precision, that this is not about the latest track. I can back it up. Play a song from, like I could play Eeskay MBO, the hit track. I think it's from last year. That's a now track, isn't it? Yes, what?
Is it not last year? It's a last year's track.
Vuga,
sure.
Yeah, I could play that song, paired it with some now recent songs and something even way before Vuga. So nice. So basically, yeah, to answer your question, is the incorporation of different genres that it seems seamless. So it doesn't even seem, so it's seamless. It's like, wow, the entire product. Yeah, but mostly it's how I push this. It's not about the latest track.
That's cool.
But it's about the music.
One thing, ever learning is too humble, though. Dope.
Ever learning.
I love that, man.
So you will get to see when you land on that page. That's how, in word for word, basically the explosion, bigger version of what I just summarized right now.
So now we just spoke about everything, and now there's someone and they are eager to go to their phones and search for you.
Yes.
And the platforms where what do they find? What must they search when they go to Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter?
I'm a simple dude. It has to do with being humble more than anything. So far the social space, I've only presented myself on Facebook and Insta. So I'm really sorry for those, but it's something that I will definitely offer in the coming near future. So go to your guys' favorites, like your TikTok, and find me there. What's this other platform, Twitter. So it was just a me humble thing that I'm okay with the Facebook space and the Instagram space. So it's easy because they are both linked. It's Junior with the letters JUNIA and then SKD. So Junior SKD. Both Facebook, both Instagram. And then Hot This. A lot of DJs especially know about this platform, but Hot This, basically you just say SKD. The junior is not, it's not like how it is on Instagram and Facebook. So Hot This, when you get to the website, you say SKD, you will find my work. Yeah. And the other details are there. If you really want to chat with me personally, my WhatsApp's number are there, or I can actually call it now. So it's 066 433 5220. 066 433 5220. More than willing to give you my time, whatever you'd like to talk to me about. And it's much easier if you're struggling to find, especially SKD on Hot This and SoundCloud. I do have some work. It's just that they have some other policy laws type of thing where the other mixtapes were brought down, but I still have one that survived there. So SKD SoundCloud as well. So whenever you're having troubles, it's easier for me to send you the link, the specific link for the job on Hot This. So when you have me on WhatsApp, obviously you let me know if you want that link, and then I just forward it to you.
Yeah. As Suda Squad would like to say, you are a winner, dude. Yeah, you're the greatest. If you also believe in that, then you'll see it happening to your life. And yeah, I think from us is much love, and we are so honored to document your story.
I'm honored to be invited by you guys as well. Much taken to heart and appreciate.
Yeah.
And all the best to you guys as well. The platform. Feel free if there's another time, because remember, stories are kind of like a daily thing.
Yeah.
So maybe after I drop the birthday mix.
To
We
hear
could have
about
another
this
talk
new
about-
Eeskay,
Yeah,
just
what's happening?
this new
I'm
kid on the
more-
block.
Yeah, I'm more than willing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what you guys are actually about, like when it comes to how you feature on this lovely podcast. But I'm also, outside of the music, a guy with things to say, man, things to tell.
Ah,
That we can have podcasts about other topics, regardless of music.
Don't worry.
So I'm here.
Yeah. So just to inform you, this is a spotlight. We wanted to know about the artist Eeskay. So we have where we can put you as our friend guest show. Yes, Buddha Squad, where we have our discussions. You understand? So don't worry, you're part of the show, friends list. You understand? You're there. So man, now you know what it is. It's your boy Focus King. I'm right here with my boys Revelation. Until to the next episode, we're right here chilling with Eeskay Deep Music. Check him on Hard This. He said a lot of house fan and artists, they know about that one, and SoundCloud also, but it does not have much of. But if you want him, we will just put on like his WhatsApp number so that you can check and communicate with him for business purposes, to be specific. And then and the rest shall follow. Thanks for choosing us. We choose you daily. We love you. And until to the next episode,